MMC Million Mile Club
home.
To the home of the original damn diesel gang.
Gang, 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 gang.
Truck drivers.
And lorry drivers.
Without them, you'd have to shop locally.
At mom and pop shops, yeah. At least they wouldn't be out of business now.
Yep.
Well,
then Farmer Brown would be transporting everything to the store or you'd be
going to the farm. Picking your own damn berries.
Getting the fresh cheese.
Anyways, we recently just reacted to Upchurch's little thing talking about how he's going to do a whole country album this 420. And it got us all excited, and it made me go back to a part of my brain I haven't listened to this guy for a while. I was like, You know, Upchurch was saying stuff like, the shit I'm going to produce is going to be more real. It ain't going to be like all the other country songs where beer, truck, girl, tailgate.
Tailgate.
It's a little different. It's going to be
bonfires.
The truth. And it made me think of
Country living
and Buddy Brown. And he's got he's more of a comedical standpoint view, but if you listen to his songs, it actually sends a message about what's real in the fucking world. Sputter.
Sputter.
About what's real and what's happening in the world today. What you gotta say about that?
And this one's called Board of Correction.
No, this one's called Kids That Never Got Spanked.
Board of Correction. Attitude
wait, hang on. Where's it at?
Where's it at?
I don't use it, but it's there to scare. I don't use it at all. I normally just, a little swat on the hand here and there, but that's about it. I don't use the paddle. It's just there for scaring nowadays. But back then, man,
Let's put it this way.
Let's just say, I'll give us a little history. He did not raise me. My grandfather raised me. And my grandfather raised me the way his daddy raised him. And let's just say I've been beat with a car antenna, water hose, paddles, belts, the bell off a damn radiator, off the car, the fan belt. You name it, if it was in hands reach.
If you fucked up.
If it was anything within hands reach, I got spanked with. And it hurt.
And you didn't do it again.
Hell yeah, no, I didn't fucking do it again.
That's what's wrong with the kids these days, is because back in the 70s, they just started this thing called Department of Children and Families, and it grew into a monster to where they tried all this Dr. Spock, put the kids in timeout and don't whoop their ass, and if you do, it was abuse. And then the DCF stepped in, and then they tried. It was all designed to tear up families and everything else. And now, a couple of generations, 20 years later, look what we got.
I gotta point out, I was laughing about something. I know. I just gotta point this out. Right here, it says may be used on any child from 5 to 75. You still fit in that category.
Yeah, try it.
So as we like to say on our channel, grab your caffeine, grab your nicotine, and let's head down that musical highway.
Maybe if this was a Board of Education was applied a little more.
Board of Corrections.
I see mugshots every night. Same stupid look there on their face. Like no one ever told him, son, you can't rob that bank. Dumbass. Like no one ever told him, don't sell crack off of Main Street. And I ain't nothing like him, cause daddy's belt loop sure could sing.
Uh-huh. That's the worst sound in the world, is hearing that.
Okay.
Oh shit! Don't hurt me, Daddy! Don't hurt me!
See the world so clearly now that 30 years have passed.
Like I said, 20, 30
I
years.
deserve about every single whooping on my ass.
I'll admit it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Never beat me, but that line was clear as day.
Yep.
Now the prison's overflowing with kids that never got spanked.
How many of people nowadays can sit there and say they've heard this come from their parents' house? Go ahead. You know, that belt loop clears. I'm talking about people between the age, well, I don't know. I'm still in the old days. I was still raised the old way. But people anywhere between 30 and 60, sit there and you run away from your parents. How many times was you told, you gotta come home? You gotta come home sometime, and you gotta eat sometime, boy. You'll be back. Mm-hmm. How many times did you hear that? Be honest with yourself.
But what we're saying, it got to a point where parents weren't allowed
to discipline their children.
They were afraid of being arrested for child abuse.
Yeah.
For spanking their kids. Because all the kid had to do was go to school and tell the teacher, and next thing you know, you had someone. We're here to investigate.
Yeah.
When the kid really needed an ass whooping.
Never got spanked. I bet some California psychologist would tell me that I'm wrong.
Damn loony head.
Then someone breaks into his house as soon as he gets home. And the burglar's got a crowbar and it goes from bad to worse. Why don't you put that burglar in timeout? Let me know just how that works.
And that's just it. Johnny, I'm going to take away your cell phone and everything else, and I'm going to sit you in the corner and put you in timeout when you should have took and whooped their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Timeout. I'm going to put you in the room. Oh, okay. I'll just play.
Use your inside voice. Use your inside voice.
I'm going to play with my video games anyway. You know, Xbox and.
Shit, when I got put in timeout, let's just say my timeout was a lot different from everybody else's. My timeout was sitting on that damn wooden stool and having to listen to Granny sit there for 4 damn hours. You know what you did wrong, blah, 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 and sit there. It wasn't, I get to sit in the corner and just, I gotta think about, I'm really thinking about what I did wrong. No, sit there and Granny sitting there for 4 hours and talk, staring at you. Eye to eye, like, and it's like, Granny, are you gonna blink? You're scaring me. That's the worst feeling.
And when you really messed up,
you get the I'm disappointed in you look. That
and you got your ass. You really messed up. You got the whooping.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see the world so clearly now that 30 years have passed. I deserve about every single whooping on my ass.
Oh yeah.
My old man never beat me, but that line was clear as day. Now the prison's overflowing with kids that never got spanked.
And we got a whole generation of them now, man, that just sit behind keyboards and everything else, and they go out and protest and don't even know what they're protesting about, and because lines have never been clearly drawn for them.
What damn line?
Oh yeah, because all they were done was putting time out.
And they never got out into the world and experienced real fucking shit. And they just sit behind a computer or sit inside their house.
And then they go to college, and then they're brainwashed by freaking liberal fucking professors, and they can't make a distinction of what's really right and what's really wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no sense in lecturing all night there in the kitchen. That wooden spoon still got the power if you know how to use it.
Oh yeah. And still to this day, I have trouble watching the damn Food Network. Every time that wooden spoon comes out, my ass is on fire. My ass is on fire.
Hell, I'm 60 years old now, and I remember my granny bringing out the wooden spoon.
Wooden spoons were the worst. They were freaking aerodynamic, and at the last minute, they'll turn it, and you get that right there, that one single point of contact, and you're like, ow!
See the world so clearly now that 30 years have passed. I deserve...
Well, like he said, clearly now I've seen 30 years have passed.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I've lived and I've seen how this little social experiment has gone with time out, thanks Dr. Spock.
Dr. Phil.
And everything. And we've seen how people have gotten to the point of lunacy because them lines were never drawn.
Like I said, what they haven't been properly disciplined.
So they don't have no morals.
No, they don't. They've always said, well, I've sat back and I've thought about what's going on and what's wrong with the world today and what the world's done wrong. You know, like they was in a big ass timeout.
About every single whooping on my ass. And my old man never beat me, but that line was clear as day. And now the prison's overflowing with kids that never got spanked.
Yep.
No, they never got spanked.
And that's what I was saying in the beginning, you know. I mean, I know Upchurch ain't gonna be putting songs out like Kids Never Got Spanked when this country needs balls and shit like that, like Buddy Brown. But to a certain standpoint, Upchurch is gonna start dropping stuff that's more truthful and more relatable than I've got a big truck in a mud hole with a shotgun in the back with my lady in my truck. In the side, you know, he's going to actually start dropping this new country album. It's going to be realistic country, for what I would say, not a stadium filler. And that's why...
And on this video, though, reality. I've seen it. I seen when it was introduced.
Yeah.
DCF started out for the welfare of females that were in abusive relationships, and it just grown into a big ass monster that's out of freaking control by the government.
And all it takes is a neighbor to be a little too nosy. Well, my kid threw a rock through a window, and I'm gonna swat him one time on the butt to teach him a lesson.
You can't even it's got to the point where you can't even let your kids play out in the backyard unsupervised without a neighbor calling the DCF and...
They wasn't watching their kids. Oh my God, somebody could have stole them. And then next thing you know, you're going through court. Bullshit.
And your life is ruined.
Bullshit.
Spank them. And with that, I'm Florida Swamp Rat.
Well, if you like this video, which... half the people probably won't. I don't know. But if you do like this...
I'm waiting on the...
comment section. Oh, yeah. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that ringy-dingy-thingy all the way up so you get all of the notifications for when we post our videos. Don't forget to comment. We want to hear them, actually.
Quit following the trend of what society says you're supposed to be doing. teach your kids right, whoop that ass, teach them the lines, teach them morals.
And don't forget, we got a Facebook group and Instagram. I'll link
You
the
gonna
links.
let me end this damn thing or what?
Well, you gonna let me finish it?
Hurry it up.
We have a Facebook group and an Instagram now. I'll leave the link to the description down below, along with a link to this video in the description also. Go.
With that, I'm Florida Swamp Rat. We'll catch you on the flip side. Spank them asses.
And I'm
Teach
Murphy's Law.
kids.
And I'm Murphy's Law. And y'all have a nice night now.